Boss. See the topic and what it is that we're talking about, right? Being a loner isn't such a bad thing. Michael, shout outs to you, my G. So Michael did request this video like a few weeks back, so I'm gonna knock it out. You feel me? Now, I'm not gonna lie, there are people who do give like the whole loner thing like a bad reputation. Oh, they're lonely, they don't have any friends. What people don't understand is when you're a loner, that's one of the sweetest things in the world. And as well as that, being a loner is something not a lot of people can do. Because you got to understand that in life, you have a lot of people who love to hang around people or love to be mixed in with the crowd. I'm not a crowd type of person. I'm mainly one of those stand alone, move alone. I have a few friends I rock with, but I don't do the crowd things. You feel me? Being a loner is never a bad thing, because I'm going to tell you this. One, when you're a loner, nobody could ever really stick you on certain things or put your name in certain things because you roll by yourself. You're a loner. You feel me? And as well as that, being a loner is something where you don't really care for the hype or the whole front street thing. It's like you want to be like to the side in the background by yourself. You feel me? Like you don't really rock with the whole loudness. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being a loner. I'm going to tell you one of the main things about being a loner people don't understand, right? You have self-discovery, right? Let's say you're a person who, I'm always hanging around my friends or I'm always around people and you've never really had time to yourself. Being a loner can allow you to allow self-discovery. So I'm going to give you an example, right? When I talk to you about, what I went through with my mom and all of that, whatever there, you feel me? I never had the ability of truly being to myself like that. I've had opportunities where, okay, I'm by myself right now. My mom's away at work, but I've never really had alone time like that. Me living by myself, this has allowed the most self-discovery. I've learned so much about myself. If you've heard people say this before, when you spend time alone, you get to learn who you really are. That's very true, dog. You get to learn a lot of things about you, what brings you up, what brings you down, what makes you want to go harder, what puts a fork in the road for you. You got to understand that being a loner has a lot of positives to it, and you have to understand that it's all about perception, as I say all the time, bro. It's what you look at it for and what it means to you. You feel me? Being a loner as well, it also fosters independence if you don't understand that. Because what? You're a loner. You're alone, lonely one. You feel me? How can you be a loner if you are dependent on people? You're not necessarily a loner. You're codependent. You get what I'm saying? When you're a loner, you're mainly independent, chances are. So you don't really need people like that. You can really have a lot of things done by yourself. As well as that, besides being independent, when you're a loner, you can have fun by yourself. There's a lot of people who do not know how to do that, bro. There's a lot of people who need a crowd of people around just to have fun, or I need my day ones in order for us to turn up and have a good time. No, as a loner, you know how to do all of that stuff. And as well as that, when you're by yourself in that solitude, you're going to be allowed creative freedom if you never knew that. You feel me? Because when you're in your world or you're a loner, you're literally in your own world. You're alone. Whatever space could be your world, your apartment, the area you live in. You could have a bunch of things that's in your world that you do that allows you to hit a certain level of creativity. You get what I'm saying? Like example with me doing YouTube. I would have loved to do videos like this way back when, but I'm going to be so honest with you. I don't think I would have ever been able to do this if I would have never been allowed the time to discover who I was through me being alone. You get what I'm saying? Me being around my friends, or okay, my girlfriend's over here this day, or my mom needs me. Like, bro, I don't have time to, you get what I'm saying? This has allowed me the most time to like recharge and figure out who it is that I am as well, right? Focus and productivity, if you never heard of this before. When you're a loner, you're more likely to be focused, dog, and more productive. Because mind you, as I stated, there are some people, they still have that high school, middle school, school days mentality where they need their friends around them. Oh, what you doing? You going back to school? I think I might go back to school. You ever met people like that before? Where it's like they're not necessarily a self-starter. They need somebody else around them to just be the jumper cables and, hey, just give me a jump, will you? Like, no. When you're independent, a loner, chances are you're probably a self-starter. You know how to get yourself started. You know how to have fun by yourself. You're like a one-man army. You know how to do a lot of things. This is why being a loner is very crucial, and a lot of people do not know how to do that. As well as that, you build stronger relationships, right? When you spend a lot of time to yourself, it's going to allow people to miss you more. Think of where I'm going with this. If you always up in somebody's face, always up around somebody, how will that person have time to miss you or be like, yo, whatever happened to such and such? Or, yo, what are they doing right now? If you're a loner, you're literally in your own world, like I stated. So people are like, yo, where's such and such at? What is he up to? What is he doing? They know where you're at. They know how to reach you, but they know, look, he's in his own world. You get what I'm saying? It's one of those type of things. So it allows you to build a stronger relationship with friends rather than straining it. Because I'm not going to lie, this is something that I've learned, especially if you're in the islands, you know what I'm about to say. If you always going over to people's house or always up in people's face, it's going to seem like, yo, you don't got a place to live at. You don't got a place to call home, or you always over here. You need to allow people to miss you sometimes. And when you always up in people's face, people use that as a sign like of, yo, I could try this person or I could disrespect them. You got to learn how to go AWOL. You feel me? As well as that, stress relief. When you're alone or you're in solitude, you have that much ability to be relieved of stress. Because mind you, there's some people, they know how to control their own environment, and they know how to make themselves happy. There are some people that they need all these other people around them in order to feel justified or happy, i.e. that's extra personalities for you to deal with, which is also going to lead to you probably eventually being stressed because, yo, I got to deal with this person or I got to deal with this person. When you're a loner and you're by yourself, kicking it by yourself, you don't need a bunch of people to have fun. You don't need people to be like, oh my gosh, I have to listen to this person's problems. You're a loner. You're used to being by yourself, so you could care less. You get what I'm saying with this? Last one, personal growth. Being a loner can encourage personal growth as individuals often engage in self-improvement activities. Better example of what I'm telling you. When you're alone by yourself, right? And this can go in different ways. Some people, they can be by themselves, but not for too long. Okay, now I need some company. Then there's some people, yo, I don't care if I get company. I'll stay right here by myself. You feel me? You got to understand that when you're by yourself, you're that much likely to get bored faster or have something that you can think of that you can do in spare time. But that's going to be the perfect opportunity for you to work on self-growth and personal development. Because why? I'm here by myself. I don't have you distracting me, or you over there, or you over there. You don't really have distractions like that. So sky's the limit for you. Sky's the limit for you to go ahead and work on certain things it is that you want to do. Or let me better myself. You get what I'm saying? Give you an example. This may be a horrible example, but this is another part of being a loner. Look at certain people who go to prison or go to jail, and they have to go to solitary confinement. Listen to the words. Solitary confinement. Solitaire, one. And you're confined to one little ass space for how much ever X amount of time they want to leave your ass in there, right? What do you see happen to some people? Some people come out, oh, I'm more ripped, or I'm more swole, or I'm more focused, or yo, I got my lyrics together, or yo, I just dropped this book. Because why? You're there in one little space. It ain't no running out of there, dog. So it gives you time for you to actually work on yourself. It's like, you know how some people are afraid to be by themselves because, yo, i.e., I don't like myself like that. How can I be trapped with myself for so long? You're there by yourself, so ain't no running, dog. You got to work on whatever it is you need to work on. Because what else are you going to do in here in free time? You get what I'm saying? You got to understand that when you're by yourself, you have the ability to personally grow, develop yourself. You could block out the noise, block out the distractions, do the things it is that you need to do in order to go the places that you need to be at. You get what I'm saying? So there's never really anything bad about being a loner. There's just some people who do not understand that lifestyle of that world and they throw stones at it. You get what I'm saying? Or I'm a loner and they don't know jack shit about being a loner, dog. Once you're a loner, bro, And this is another thing in life, bro. Once you're a loner and you know how to control your emotions and work on yourself, develop yourself, go back to the drawing board. I'm not afraid to start over. You become that much more dangerous, dog. Because what are people going to tell you? What are people going to do with you? You get what I'm saying? You're more of a loner. You don't need people around you. You get what I'm saying? You don't move with the crowd. So these are little things for you to think about, dog. Being a loner is not a bad thing, bro. And anybody you see that's a loner, they're probably that way for a reason. And sometimes you might have to get to like know the person or speak with them to know why they're a loner or why they do that thing. You get what I'm saying? Or why don't you hang out with people? You never know. Sometimes you just got to ask people. But when you're a loner, it's one of the best things because it allows you to discover yourself. You're independent. You're creative. You're more focused. You get relief of stress, personal growth, all of that there. You feel me? So there's no negatives in being a loner. You get what I'm saying? That being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I use them to uplift you because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser, man. 444 the world, man. Peace.